Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Haziq bin Harun and my ID number is 2023167771. And I'm going to present to you our group assignment for ECO162. The background of the company. Gardenia is a Singaporean multinational bakery company with a presence of various countries. The company is owned by QAF Limited, which is listed on Singaporean Stock Exchange. Gardenia started their company as a bakery in Singapore, but due to public demand, they also opened their bakery at Pandan Loop in March 1983, followed up by another bakery in June 1993. Conventional perspective. Although many bad things have happened in the industry, a menu that does not attract the attention of public and income is decreasing day by day. However, they still run their business to find their profit so they can achieve their goal. The first perspective is land. This source is including as a renewable resources. The second is labor, service and work that has been done by the employee to achieve the company target. Third is capital, used to produce a product either in a form of money or machine. And fourth is entrepreneur, which is the human skill to use all the perspective above to achieve the goal. The next is choice and opportunity cost. Choice must be determined by people's taste and their own habit. This can differentiate by the product brand or labeling or people taste. Next is opportunity cost. Opportunity cost means the second best alternative and its benefit that is given up. For an example, I want to buy 2 shoes. The first shoes is Adidas and the second is Nike. But I don't have money to buy those 2 shoes. I can only buy one. So I need to give up one of the shoes so I can buy another. For an example, Nike is good for jogging and Adidas is good for hiking. If I more like to jog, I need to give it up on Adidas. That is more benefiting in
hello,
hiking.
My name is Muhammad Afif Arfan bin Muhammad Anas. My metric number is 2023167793. So next, economic problem. Economic problem just basically a random question like what to produce, how to produce, how much to produce, and for whom to produce. So for what to produce? Should Gardenia produce a brand new bread or a new instant noodle? Next, how to produce? Should Gardenia produce product using labor or machinery? Next, how much to produce? How many each product to produce? Finally, for whom to produce? Should Gardenia target to sell more product to kids or adults? Next, 3.0, demand and supply. So for 3.1, law of demand. Law of demand states that when the price of the good itself increase, the quantity of demanded for the goods will fall, and when the price for the goods decrease, the quantity demand will increase. Ceteris paribus. So 3.0, demand and supply. 3.1, law of demand. Law of demand states that when the price of the goods itself increase, the quantity of demanded for the goods will fall, and when the price for the goods decreases, the quantity demanded will increase. Ceteris paribus. So the Twiggies is the most trending in the media social. With that, the Gardenia company increased the price of the Twiggies from 2 ringgit to 12 ringgit. So demanded of the Twiggies graph. So in the graph, we see that when the companies increase the price of Twiggies from 2 ringgit to 12 ringgit, the quantity of demand drop from 1,200 units to 200 units. So the upward movement happen along the demand curve contraction. Next, demand of Gardenia product next month. So in the graph, we see that when the expectation about future price will increase, the demand for Gardenia Twiggies for now will increase. So price still the same, but the quantity of demand increase from 400 to 1,200, and shift of the demand curve will move to the right from D1 to D2.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Haris Zakwan bin Muhammad Shahrin. My matrix number 2023-374-233. I will present to you about law of supply. So the law of supply states that when the price of a good increase, the quantity supplied will increase. When the price of the goods decrease, the quantity supplied will decrease in ceteris paribus. In addition, the law of supply shows a positive relationship between the quantity offered and the price of the item itself. However, the only other factors influencing the supply are held constant, and the only price of the good itself change. The supply curve will be upwards sloping, showing the positive relationship between the price of the good and the quantity supplied. When the company wants to rise the wages of factory workers, the supply of Numi product will decrease from 14 ringgit to 6 ringgit. Based on the graph, the demand of Numis increase. Therefore, the quantity supplied for Numi will also increase. The price will increase. There is a movement along the supply curve, which is upward movement, expansion. Elasticity of demand and supply. Price elasticity of demand. Generally, price elasticity of demand (ED) state that it measures the responsiveness of the quantity demanded of a product to change in its price. As for Gardenia, we define ED as the responsiveness of the change in the quantity of Twiggies due to the price of Twiggies per packet change. The increase in the price of Twiggies, the decrease in quantity demand of Twiggies, and the opposite. So this product, which is Twiggies, can clarify as inelastic demand by reason of the buyers are very responsive with the change in price. Based on the diagram above, the results show that the price Twiggies per packet is increasing from 2 ringgit to 4 ringgit because the salary of worker is high due to less employees, which more power were needed. Therefore, the quantity demanded for the Twiggies decreased from 1,200 to 1,000. Determinants of price elasticity of demand. Availability of substitute. The price elasticity of demand for Twiggies is significantly influenced by the accessibility of alternative. The demand for Twiggies becomes more flexible because there are so many readily available alternatives to snack cakes or other similar foods such as Hottest cupcake, chocolate muffin, or granola bars. In other words, in the cost of Twiggies rises over what customers are prepared to spend, they can easily switch to another option. The demand for Twiggies, however, will become less elastic if there are few alternatives or features that set Twiggies apart from other snacks, since consumers will be less likely to move to an alternative even if the price increases. Next, level of income. Depending on the degree of affluence in a community, the demand for Twiggies may be more or less price elastic. Twiggies demand will become inelastic since people with greater incomes might still be able to afford them even if the price increase without noticeably changing their purchasing power. People generally have more purchasing power and are more inclined to spend money on this next as income rises.
Okay, 4.3 Income elasticity demand. Income elasticity used to measure the responsiveness of the quantity demanded of a good or service to change in income. It can also help in classifying the various products according to how sensitive they are to various in income. 4 separate groups of goods can be differentiated using calculation, which is normal goods, inferior goods, and luxury goods. Twiggies, on the other hand, is considered a typical good. When a consumer's salary rises, consumer has more disposable income to spend. Furthermore, if consumer income improves, they may be more inclined to spend a portion of their money on Twiggies due to brand reputation and perceived quality. As shown in the diagram above, an increasing in consumer income from the RM4000 to RM7000 will lead to a small change in quantity demanded, which is increasing from 1,100 until to 1,200 units. Next is 5.0 Market Equilibrium. 5.1 Determination of Price and Quantity Equilibrium. As you can see from the graph, Gardenia has reached its equilibrium price when the quantity demanded and the quantity supply are same, which means QDD equal to QSS. From the graph above, we find that there is a consistent point which is at RM12 ringgit and 6,000 units, representing the equilibrium price and quantity. With that, Gardenia decided to sell fluffy buns at a price of RM12 ringgit. A shortage occurs when the quantity demanded is greater than the quantity supply, with QDD is greater than QSS. As for example, Gardenia had experienced a shortage when they decided to reduce the price by RM4 ringgit. At that, the quantity demanded are 10,000 units and the quantity supply is 2,000 units. The meaning is that the shortage amount of 8,000 units. To solve the problem, Gardenia needs to raise the price, and it will cause a shortage of the quantity demanded because the price has become expensive, and buyer will look for other things to satisfy their desire. A surplus occurs when the quantity supply is greater than the quantity demanded. When the price of fluffy buns is RM20 ringgit, the quantity demanded is 2,000 units and the quantity supply is 10,000 units. This means there is a surplus of 8,000 units. With that, Gardenia will lower the price and it will cause the quantity supply to decrease. Because of the supply, we consider it not worthwhile to sell more product at a lower price and will not provide profit to produce more. Okay, next is 5.2 Concept of Government Intervention. Government intervention has good and bad effect on some group of people around the world. This kind of intervention has given a disadvantage to company on most countries these days. It is because it will avoid the market price from rising after a certain level, but this will be a benefit to most of the society, especially to the poor. Government create this kind of law to make sure that the demand and supply at any company in an appropriate rate. Government intervention has two types, that is price ceiling or known as maximum price, and price floor, well known as maximum price. As you can see from the graph, the government imposed tax of RM at ringgit, so the supply curve will shift to the left and the quantity demanded will decrease.